Hi, my name is Axel Heiberg. I'm the founder of TechCharts. At TechCharts, I'm using MetaStock for my global financial market analysis. For more than a decade, I've been relying on MetaStock as one of the best charting platforms that is backed by timely and reliable data on global markets. Here are some of my favorite features that I use on a daily basis. Here on this slide one, you can see that MetaStock and Zenith has the future of, they're very similar to Excel for those who have been using Excel on a day-to-day basis. So adding and removing rows and instruments, also information about each instrument via columns are really user-friendly. So you can right-click on an instrument and you can add and remove rows and columns very easily with the click of a mouse. On your quad screen, you can add the columns and organize it according to your need. You can create tabs for each specific market you're following. I look at sectors and market cap data when I come across a good looking chart. So you can easily line your economic sector, company market cap, volume, bid and ask, and all those information in a nice Excel format, and you can keep track of it. Also, by right-clicking on the instrument, you can get data about the stock, related news, and also fundamental data. The fundamental data is the least I'm interested in. However, I do check latest corporate events, such as stock splits or earning announcements. And Zenith has a very detailed database for next 1 year corporate events. Once you identify a stock as a good breakout candidate, you can set up alerts, which is directed to your email. You can set up different alerts, such as price trigger or news alert. I use the alert option a lot, given that I'm following so many markets across different geographies. I like to stay on top of the latest breakout signals, if there are any. Another feature I use is the apps section. I like to look at correlation between instruments. Whenever there is a clear breakout opportunity and there are several good-looking names, I want to see if these opportunities are highly correlated. Highly correlated instruments move in a similar way. I want to be positioned in low correlated stocks, or at least if I'm bullish about, for example, energy stocks, be aware about the correlation coefficient between the stocks and the indices. On Zenith platform, you can also create pages with charts. However, I leave all charting related work to the MetaStock platform. I've been using MetaStock for the past 18 years, before even Zenith software existed. Now it comes as a bundle. Zenith, a platform where you can follow all research, live codes, news, etc., and MetaStock for charting purposes. By the way, Zenith charting platform is very advanced as well. Over the past years, MetaStock has seen massive improvements. One of the improvements that I really like is how organized the instrument lists are through the Power Console. Power Console is the go-to place for all your analysis. You can open charts, write systems, explorations with set criteria, and run it on the specific lists you have created or default instrument lists. Many years back, I had to create and maintain my own index constituents. Whenever a stock was added or removed from the index, I was following up and making sure it is not on my list. Now, this is managed through the cloud system via servers. Index constituents are updated seamlessly. Also, whenever there is a corporate action, it gets reflected on the charts. You can create your charts, save them on cloud servers, and open them from different computers. Going back to the instrument list, I think MetaStock's data offering clearly beats most retail platforms out there. You name the instrument and it will be available on the Power Console. Here you can see US sectors and industries divided into different groups, organized in a nice way, very easy to access. Over the years, MetaStock continued to add new indicators to the list. you can select and apply the indicator of your choice. Or you can write your own custom indicator using the MetaStock language. There are several websites and forums with traders and analysts helping each other and sharing codes to write different indicators. You can also explore securities from the instrument list for the criteria you specify. In example, you can scan stocks that are reaching 52-week highs or instruments that are qualifying for specific moving average crossovers. All in all, I highly recommend MetaStock, and we have received several questions from our members about the charting softwares that I'm using. MetaStock has been really helpful over the past decades for me with all kinds of financial market analysis. I'm sure Hunter from MetaStock will be able to explain in more detail, and we'll have some specific features covered in the following minutes. Hunter?
Yes, thank you so much, Axel, for the kind introduction. We appreciate you taking some time with us today. We're excited to be able to show you, some of your clients, some of the unique features in MetaStock. I'm going to go ahead and show my screen here. Now, a little bit of history about MetaStock. MetaStock has been around for about 30 years. It was created as a platform by traders for traders. And what that really means to us is we want to provide the best technical analysis, and as you saw, a few of the best fundamental analysis tools in the industry. In this very short presentation, I wanted to focus on a couple of the things that make MetaStock different from the rest of the charting platforms that you're going to see out there. I want to give you kind of a very quick overview on a couple of our very advanced power tools within MetaStock. And with these power tools, what we wanted to focus on is giving the trader the ability to get into a workflow in a very, very short period of time. We want you to be able to sit down in the morning and find trade opportunities in a short period of time instead of having to open up a ton of different charts and remember all of the analysis that you're doing on every single one. We want to give you the ability to run through hundreds, if not thousands, of charts in a very short period of time to find the trade opportunities that are meaningful to you as a trader. Now, we have many, many tools within MetaStock, but I want to concentrate on two of them today. The first of which is the one that is going to make your life the easiest. Now, let's say that I'm a trader that focuses on the S&P 500. The S&P 500 is a great index to trade. However, the issue is that there are 505 different instruments on the S&P 500, meaning most charting platforms out there, I'm going to have to go through and open up 505 charts to find the trading opportunities that I'm looking for. Well, with MetaStock, many, many years ago, we decided that that didn't make sense. So we created the exploration tool. Now, the exploration tool, like I said, is going to make your life so much easier because I can come in here and identify the criteria that I'm looking for, the trade setups that I specifically use, and I can find those setups within the S&P 500 within the matter of seconds, really. Let's say, for example, that I use the MACD. Now, the MACD is kind of a trailing indicator. It's a system that is a complement to a lot of other trading systems out there. By no means am I going to use this as my only trading system, but most people are familiar with the MACD, so I wanted to use that as an example today for you. Now, in this example, we're looking at the MACD expert system, which means I am going to be searching for MACD buy and sell signals, as well as overbought and oversold situations. So I'm going to go ahead and select the MACD expert system. I'm going to come down here and select my S&P 500. And what this is going to do is it's going to look for those buy and sell signals and overbought and oversold conditions over the S&P 500. Now let's go ahead and start the exploration. Now this is going to move obviously very quickly, as you can see in the top right, the status. and we're done. So what we just did in that matter of seconds is we looked for buy and sell signals and overbought and oversold signals across 505 different stocks, and that only took us a matter of seconds. Now, since we are looking for 4 different types of signals, all 4 are listed right here, and I can come in and sort this list by either just MACD buy signals, MACD sell signals, or the overbought and oversold conditions. So anything that has a 1 by it rang true for that condition. So I can come in here and isolate, this set amount of stocks. It looks like about 15 or so that had the MACD buy signal, and I can add that to a list and do further analysis on it very, very easily. So let's go ahead and open up one of these charts. Now I'm going to go ahead and apply one of our templates here, staying true to the example that I'm using. I'm going to go ahead and attach the MACD here. Now with this, I'm going to close down my other template here. I have our MACD oscillator, and I can come in here and just add the MACD expert advisor, which is going to give me the specific buy and sell signals that I am looking for. Okay, so very plainly, we have all of our MACD buy and sell signals. This was the one that we just searched for and found in our results. Amazon is currently in a MACD buy signal. Okay, so very, very easily I can come in here and find my trading opportunities. Well, let's say for a second that I want to know how well the MACD actually works on the S&P 500 or the 14 stocks that just came up in that exploration. That's a very important question because all stocks behave a little bit differently. All indexes, they will behave a little bit differently. So finding out that the system that I am using is behaving well on these stocks and is performing well on these stocks, I want to be able to backtest. And this brings me to the second power tool that I want to focus on today, and that is our system tester. Answering the age-old question, how well has my system worked trading these stocks? So I can actually come in here and backtest that. Let's say that I am using, again, the MACD expert system. And let's say that I want to see how it performed on the entire S&P 500 over the course of the last year. Well, right here, I'm going to define what type of trader I am. Do I only take long opportunities? Do I take only short opportunities? Or do I take both? How long do I want to test over? Now, you can back test as far as the data goes, which most of our data is going to go complete historical, so all the way back to the starting of Amazon or the starting of IBM, etc. But in this case, for time's sake, I'm going to test over the past year. I'm also going to come in here and identify how much I'm trading with, what's in my account. Each time I actually trade, what am I trading with? For example, am I trading a number of shares? Am I trading a specific transaction cost, or am I focusing on a percentage of my available equity? So I can enter that in here. I can enter in all of my brokerage fees so that you're accurate with your system testing. I'm going to go ahead and hit OK. And let's go ahead and start this system test. Now I'm using, again, the S&P 500. I want to know how well the MACD has performed over the S&P 500 over the course of the last year. Now, the cool thing about MetaStock is when you're running, let's say, large system tests like this window is going to pop up, and this will actually pop up when it's done wherever you're at, even if you're on a different window like an internet browser, or if you're searching through MetaStock Zenith like you were looking at a little bit earlier, like Axel was showing us. This will actually pop up anywhere you're at. And let's go ahead and view the results. So we can come in here and sort and find the stocks that performed the best if I was trading the MACD expert system over the course of the last year. So let's take a look at our first example here. Now, with this system, I actually traded about 30 times over the course of the last year. I had 17 profitable trades using the MACD system. I had 13 unprofitable trades for a grand total of I generated about $1,500 worth of profit. Now, there are a few things that I can take out of this report. First off, is $1,500 over the course of the year my target as a trader? Is that what I'm looking for as a return on my account over the course of the last year? Second question I ask myself is, realistically, knowing that I'm a 40-hour-a-week guy, sometimes I work on the weekends, etc., can I realistically trade 30 times in a year? I can see that with this report. So if I'm okay trading 30 times in a year, which is not a whole heck of a lot, then this might be a system I could look at, or a stock I could look at. And finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and click on my equity tab. And what this is this is an overall visual representation of what my account did trading this specific stock using the MACD system over the course of the last year. I love, love, love this view. And the reason is it's a very accurate visual representation, and it's easy just to take a quick look at and say, you know what, do I want my account doing this or do I not? Now, in this specific example, the MACD system did not trade very well. It traded kind of sideways for the first 160 days. But for the last 90 days, the last quarter, 3 months of this test, this system has been trading very well on this stock, and you can see consistent growth. Now, the question I have to ask myself is, okay, do I want my money doing that? Is this trade opportunity something that is worth it for me and my goals as a trader? Always remember that as a trader, being an effective money manager and having specific trade guidelines, rules, and more importantly, expectations out of yourself is going to be your key to generating money. And what we wanted to do at MetaStock is help you identify all of those things in a very short period of time. So in our few minutes talking here today, we've been able to show you the exploration where I took 505 stocks. I whittled it down to about 14 trade opportunities. I also took the MACD system, the system that I was using, and I tested it over the entire S&P 500 to find stocks that are performing very well over the course of the last year using that system. Now, obviously, there are quite a few different tools within MetaStock. I don't have time to cover a lot of them today. However, because of that, I didn't want to shortchange you. I wanted to make sure that you guys in the audience had the ability to really learn about a lot of our tools within MetaStock. And that's why we've scheduled an additional webinar where I will be covering in depth some of the advanced tools and a few different ways to use even some of the tools that I covered here today. Give you some tips and tricks in using MetaStock and answering, of course, all of the questions that you have. We've scheduled that webinar for October 16th, and you will get a link to go ahead and register for that webinar. Axel, I wanted to give you a special thanks for having me here today and for scheduling this future webinar with me so that we can give your audience a little bit of a better idea of what MetaStock can do for them.
Thanks, Hunter. Thanks for your time, and thank you everyone for watching this. Every day I rely on MetaStock, and basically the first thing I do in the morning to do my research is open MetaStock and Zenit and sit in front of my computer. I enjoy using it. Thank you, Hunter. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Yes, of course, and thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you again here in the webinar on the 16th. Happy trading.